dled 4.1. This is the first of a new series from Dedolights. The D stands for Dedolights and the 4 for 40 watt. So you can imagine there are some other models will come. So the 2.0 for instance with 20 watt and so on. The housing of the dled 4.1 is a completely new development. As I said before, we have to pay attention about the heat of the LED. We have also here a single LED with 40 watt and have to deal with the heat of 40 watt. The robust housing is made of metal, except of the yellow adjustment ring and the grip on the end. With turning this yellow ring, you bring the aspheric lens further away from the LED or bring it closer to them. And with this, you have a control over the beam, over the focus beam. So if you have a spot or a floodlight. Then you have the barn doors, you have the normal size and you have the smaller. And these are interesting because you can adjust how far they go and you can push them together. Between the front lens and the barn doors are a small gap to use this kind of color filter. Also we have a it calls a clean beam system. It means we have no bandings in our projection of the light. And I can't repeat it enough how important it is when you dim your light that you not have color shift. Definitely here is also the case. You can dim it from nearly 0 to 100% and you have no color shift. And the dled 4.1 is also available as daylight, tungsten or B color. At the moment the B color is a switch, so you can decide between daylight or tungsten light, but in near future we have a knob that we can stepless adjust between daylight and tungsten. The second part of the dled 4.1 is the power supply. So this is the power supply with the on-off switch and with the built-in dimmer. You can put a softbox of course, or you put the barn doors with a diffuser in front. And as you see, when you spot in the lights, you get a really small beam. And everybody who knows the Dedolights, the halogen lights, the dlh, then they know we have some further attachment on the front of these lamps. And the good news is with the dled 4.1 you can use the same attachment. And now we came to one of my favorite tools with this light, and this is the projector, the image projector DP1. And probably you recognized some of my backgrounds. To generate the background, mostly projected this kind of steel gobos. Here I have a starter kit with 6 different gobos, steel gobos, and with a combination of in focus, out of focus, in combination with color, we can generate really quick and interesting and nice background. To bring more attention to your background, you have it sharp and crisp, or bring more attention to the foreground and the background out of focus. Combined with colors, you have a huge amount of varieties of backgrounds in your pocket. Or you like it more dramatic? What is with this background? This is 3D background. It's a glass gobo with different heights on the surface, and here also from sharp to unsharp the background. So we can soften the light, we can focus the light, we can project with the light some images in the background with steel gobos, with 3D glass gobos, and we can adjust the color with color filter. The projection can also be on your motive. In this case I used the steel gobo and a color filter. There is a second projector, it calls it DP2, and it had some shutter blades. you can move and adjust this shutter blades independently. You can move it around, you can adjust it precisely. And for instance, it was used in museums. So in museums, when you have a picture on the wall, it's really difficult to get an exact framing of the light beam on your picture. In this case, because of the ability to move all four sides independently, you can project an absolutely rectangle from 45 or 30 degrees. Inspired by the idea of a famous DOP, Dedolight developed a special attachment with a light projection with a DP2 projector and closing the shutter blades from the sides, from the bottom and from the top, and in the end a light diffusing with the eye light diffuser brings a special attention to my eyes. And this is how it looks without the diffuser. It looks more looking through a gap. This is the diffuser 1, so you have a slightly diffusing of the shadow edge. This is diffuser plate 2 and this diffuser plate 3, and you see the edges become more smoothly. I use the DP2 projector with the eye light attachment to produce a light stroke, a stripe of light on a specific part of my product shots. Here the product shots for the new size 2.8 lenses. I want to have lighting only this part of the lens and of course the logo. Let's come back to the motto of this podcast, lights to go. So let's rephrase. On a Ledzilla we only need such of this tiny little batteries. On the Feloni standard model you can use the bigger NP batteries, and of course you can use such a V-mount battery. What's really cool on this, the battery charger is built inside. So you only have to buy this kind of battery and you have your charger with you. And with this you have approximately power for 1.5 hours with the Feloni high output. And the real cool part is when you want to bring a V-mount battery to the dled 4.1, you need this plate for the V-mount battery with a D-tap. What you also need is a DT4 battery adapter or power supply adapter. This part is for the light and this is the D-tap on the battery plate. We are at the end of this short overview over LED lights from Dedolight. And as I said before, wouldn't it be nice when you can take your light with you? So for the Ledzilla, the smallest one, there is no reason to keep it at home. The bigger one, the LED 4.1 with the amazing ability to focus, to bring some attachment from the softbox up to the projector, it's really incredible. And the Feloni, if it's in daylight, tungsten or in B color, the standard version to power up with the small battery packs from Sony, or the high output with the V-mount battery pack is absolutely a beautiful light to take with you. And you are very welcome to visit my website. The website is in German language, but I have a channel in YouTube and on Vimeo with some other podcasts, some other films, some other pieces of my works. And you're very welcome to visit them. Leave a comment if you like it. If not, I'm sorry for that. And because of the huge success of my last podcast covering the working with the Canon C100 with the Ninja and the 5D Mark III working with the Atomos Ninja, and because of the request to do some more of this podcast in English language, so I will do this. Even in times when we can shoot on large sensor cameras with an amazing ability to shooting in low lights, nearly in any environment and with available light. Don't give up the power to the available light to create your scene. Always keep in mind probably to bring light into the scene, to enhance the scene. If it's a key light, a fill light, a rim light, or a tiny little spot in the background. And believe me, the power to know how to work with light and to build the light up in your scene is the biggest power you have as a cameraman or a filmmaker. With this and best regards, your Stefan Czech.